Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reclaim Your Life. Toby and Kirk are here today, and we are going to discuss measurements of success. Specifically, is the scale the only measure of success? Before we get into this, though, please remember to subscribe below, hit the bell notification. You'll get notifications anytime these new videos come out. So, Kirk, a lot of people want to lose weight. A lot of people are obsessed with that number on the scale. Is it the only measure of success?
I would say absolutely not. And the reason I would say that is many times we overlook some of the most basic signs that you've made a successful
Mm,
improvement in your life or that you've actually started to achieve your goals. Think about it. If someone just started to try to do a run and they're actually walking, they're starting to look at themselves saying, I've been doing this for like 6 weeks and I'm only walking. Well, how much have you been walking compared to what you did last year? Well, if you
mm,
say, well, I didn't even walk at all last year. Well, have you walked a mile? No, only half a mile. Well, then you're improving from what you did last year, right? Well,
mm.
yes. Or like I think you and I mentioned a while back, if someone was eating 6 donuts and now they've cut down to three, or
Yep.
if they sit down and eat like I used to do, a gallon of ice cream, I'd eat almost the whole thing in a sitting. And now you don't do that anymore. You have a little small bowl. Hey, guess what? You've made a huge improvement on your health right there because you're not slamming your body with this incredible amount of sugar that's actually harming you.
Hmm.
Sugar in itself in moderation is okay, but when you eat that much at once, it can be catastrophic to your system.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts, Toby?
I mean, you're absolutely right. And to be fair, I mean, we discussed on a hacks video that, when I was losing weight, I did look at the scale every day, but you got to be really intentional and understand what that is. You're not going to lose or gain 2 pounds or 5 pounds in one evening or one weekend. A lot of that's water. A lot of that's the food that's still in your stomach that hasn't been digested all the way. Um, but there are many other physical measurements. Now, you talked about making progress. You couldn't walk a mile, and now you can. You used to eat half a dozen donuts, now you eat three. But also on the weight loss journey specifically, some of the things to think about is, how do you look in the mirror?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds vain, but you know, you see yourself when you get out of the shower or bath every day. That's a measure of success. How are your clothes fitting?
That's
You may
right.
not lose very many pounds at all, but your clothes are fitting differently. Comments from other people. You and I've talked about this before because we both were overweight at a season of our life. People who are around you every week or haven't seen you in a while sometimes will make comments or notice. So you got to be really careful about the number on the scale. I mean, it is a measure of success, but there are many other measurements of success. Um, let's talk a little bit more, Kirk, about the kind of how you feel inside when you start, getting your life back under control.
Well, I think that one of the most eye-opening experiences with me is just like we've talked about a couple times is when I started running.
Mhm.
I absolutely disdained running. But after running for probably 6 weeks or more, I literally could feel something different in me. And it wasn't just a
Yeah.
runner's high. Like people talk about, well, I feel so good after a run. No, this was not something that was just after the run. I could feel from the moment I woke up and it never stopped. There was just a
Mm.
point to where after I was continuously exercising on a regular basis, that there was just a change and I literally just felt better. Everything felt like it was working better inside. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that people need to look for is, are you feeling better? Are
Mm.
things working better? Did some of the maybe, I know some people, I have some friends that when they started losing weight and getting healthy, their diabetes went away.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that you can use as a sign that you've been successful. Like we said, you can't just look at the number on the scale and assume that's the only measure of success. There's
Mm.
many, many things you can look at that says, yes, you're doing it, you're killing it, you're knocking it out of the park, and you are a winner.
That's right. I've had that same experience. First time I went up a flight of stairs without being winded, coming off of multiple medications that I took in the past. those are all success measures. And
Hmm.
I think we have to really be careful about just being very myopic and looking just at one small thing, but you got to look at the broader picture. And this is a piece of grace too. You got to give yourself the
That's right.
grace to make the progress that you need. So great conversation again. Please subscribe to the channel. You keep us going. You keep these conversations going when you subscribe. We'd also love to hear in the comments, what are some of the measures of your success? Great conversation today, Kirk. Thanks so much for joining us.